should we have?
Scare the bitches away with them t-shirts. I swear to God. Amazing. Fair play. Looks great.
Well, talking of crazy, Rob, we were talking earlier about Ryan Garcia, and playing us in this week for Bellew of the Week, episode 562. It's only the man himself, Oscar, and his side piece filming him on Instagram here. I'm not quite sure what's going on.
Parachuting back to Vegas.
Parachuting back to Vegas. Big titty committee.
Look at her pretending to think that's funny.
Did you notice his fly was open there, by the way? Did you notice that? Did you notice? Play it again. Play it again.
Yeah.
Look at it. You see it?
Parachuting back to Vegas.
Parachuting back to Vegas.
This is her fake laugh. She's like,
Probably had his paw out there, by the way.
Millionaire Oscar sure is funny when he has a bra over his head. Off his fucking nut on coke.
Oh, he's some fucking man.
Oh, dear me. Good old Oscar. He's loving life.
Him and fucking B-Hop, by the way. They're like Laurel and Hardy, aren't they? Like a fucking a throwback to times gone by. Like fucking Bernard out at the fucking press conference with his fucking clear repercussions of fucking fighting Kovalev and Joe Smith back to back in between 18 months. Like he didn't need that. Like he was perfectly coherent. Well, I say perfectly, but he was coherent in those fucking face-offs against Pascal. There was nothing wrong with him. Hung on too long, and now he's coming out with all kinds of craziness. And Oscar at the back, like they are just, and they keep talking all this fucking hyperbole about they're going to take over the sport and change. Like, use to our old news. Like you're hanging in there by the thread of Ryan Garcia, and he's on the fucking way out. So sad to see two great fighters. They just won't piss off, will they? They just, Golden Boy won't die. Like they're hanging on by a fucking thread. They're propping up another event. Oscar with his Garcia comes to the fucking press conference with a white suit, and Oscar has to come with a whiter one. Two of them looking like a fucking Scarface tribute act at the fucking press
Fighting
conference.
for the white behind the scenes.
Oh my God!
Funny
White
when
lines don't do it.
When B-Hop goes on these big meandering tirades, like he makes me seem flipping concise, but he goes on these big, long, obscure. And you see, Ryan Garcia got up at the press conference and said, "Bernard, do you want to squash the beef?"
Oh
no, I missed that bit.
Oh, he did. He got up. He Bernard was in the middle of one of his big speeches, and Garcia just got up and said, "Bernard, do you want to squash the beef?" And Hopkins was all, "No, there's no beef between us." And then there was this great picture of Hopkins. He put his arm around Garcia, and Garcia looked really dejected or something. No, it was an interesting moment. All right.
The beef stems from the fact that Garcia thinks his promoters are against him. He's got a lot of paranoia. He's very paranoid. This guy.
He tweeted out R.I.P. Ryan 666 earlier.
He fucking said that Bernard said that boxing will call your bluff. So he deducted from that his promoters are against him and they're a bunch of haters, and that's where the beef between him and Bernard came from. And then he said, like, he went on to say loads of times that Bernard is a weirdo. He's a weirdo. He's a weirdo.
High praise coming from him, eh? Well,
see what he said that shit in the bathroom.
Yeah, Andy, you've alerted me to this one.
Aye, so someone's uploaded or left this comment on a Mickey Ward Shane Airy video that I was watching. I fucking looked down below. The Fighter was the movie when Ward defeated Neri. I was like, well, Mitchell's really on the ball with the breaking news, eh? Just like, the film came out like fucking 10 years ago, didn't it?
Mitchell Hodak, hold that thought.
Someone was on the comments just scrolling through, like, finally I had the fucking answer I was looking for.
Okay, so Mr. Mitchell isn't the real Mr. Current Affairs, though, really, eh? So, that was a belt.
It's like when Matty does the fucking same joke that you do 10 times worse 2 minutes later. You know that way?
Oh, we miss him, Rob. We miss him.
Don't miss him. He's in the fucking chat. He can't help himself.
He's doing in Puerto Rico, by the way. He's on here listening to us.
He's in Puerto Rico and he's bashing the keyboard. Get a fucking life for yourself. What's the matter with you?
He's probably putting bets on, isn't he?
He's probably doing the casino by losing money hand over fist. He probably
This is why there's no justice. See, this way I said this last week. I should be in Puerto Rico. I would not be in the fucking chat if I was in Puerto Rico, says the fella who fucking called in on his wedding day.
I tell you what, though. I tell you what. I hope he doesn't lose all his cash and pull a Felix Verdejo and the missus. By the way.
Either Verdejo.
Well, he might get away with it, Andy. If he was in the Turning Stone last night when the lights kept going out every 5 seconds.
Oh, there was. I can't mind what card it was on, mate. That was even worse. Was like I think it was like one of the YouTube shows. I think it might have been in Italy. It was like a rave party, mate. It was going orange, then yellow, then bloody blue, then red, and then green. It was. I had to switch it off because it was just like fucking with my eyes and that, man. Just wild.
See how boxing fucks with your head, and little shit that happened in the boxing world will stay in your mind like or whatever forever. Or maybe it's just me, but see when the lights go off at something, I keep thinking about Brother Nazim talking about Bernard Hopkins that time when there was a female interviewer in the gym and the electricity went. He said before he looked, Bernard Hopkins was outside with his gym bag, and he was like, "Why'd you leave the gym?" And he goes, "Because the fucking lights just cut off with 20 fellas and 1 woman, so if someone touched her, it wasn't the champ." So now anytime the fucking lights go anywhere I am, I'm like, do I have to fucking leave this place? Hold on, who's in here?
Matty says he's got explosive diarrhea. I think she's tried to poison him, I think. She's trying to counter him, I think.
That's the fucking same as every week then, isn't it? Fuck's sake.
Too much rum.
Too much rum, aye. Rum and coke.
There we go. Right, what else have we got here? Let's have a look down. Yeah, so I had to nominate these boys, the Stick and Move podcast. I'm not sure who they are, but this came up earlier, recommended on my feed, Andy. Is David Tua a Hall of Famer? Volume 2.
Fuck. What, you didn't see Volume 1?
No, he's not, definitely not.
What the hell, man? Oh, come on. I mean, David, he was a good fighter, like, but Jesus.
He was a good fighter. And by the way, can I just say something? I went back and watched it. And I don't know if I'm just getting old in my age now or if I'm just getting hard to please or whatever not in my old age, but I find that Ike Ibuabuchi fight a wee bit slightly overrated. I don't know if I'm just overthinking that a wee bit, but who knows? Maybe that's what it is.
I haven't watched it in a while. Yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't say he's a Hall of Famer, but I'd say if he was around today, he'd be a world champion about 3 times over when you see who has been world champions. Anyway.
I thought Andy was going to say he went back and watched the David Tua Lennox Lewis fight, and I was going to say fair play. I remember that one at the time, man. Flip me, that was a hard watch. Anyway, let's put it that way. But yeah, Tua.
I was listening talking about heavyweights, and I was listening to like Patrick Connor and his podcast. What's his name again? Knuckles and Gloves, I think it was called that. And they are actually talking about Mike Weaver.
Yes.
Maybe something for us. Maybe to talk about that. You know, how the nearly man, but guys with big punches and that almost to the promised land, 15-round mark, and then it kind of like falls away from that type of thing and that.
Mike Weaver. Yeah, I remember
Weaver.
him. Didn't he end up with he had about 15 losses on his record, didn't he, Weaver?
He won a he won a title when he was fragmented that time. Didn't he have a WBA title?
South Africa won it, did they know?
Oh, he knocked out. Who did he knock out?
Was it one of the
Jerry Coetzee.
Coetzee, aye.
Jerry Coetzee.
Dokes, I was thinking. Wasn't it Dokes he fought? No. Was it
Dokes knocked him out, did he?
Aye, the 15th round or something.
Yes, he beat Tillis. He beat James Tillis. Sorry, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah. Right enough. Coetzee beat him as well. I'm just looking back down the record. Right enough. Weaver early on in his career. Yes, it was Dokes beat him. That was one I was trying to remember. Good fighter, Mike Weaver. 18 losses he ended up with in the end, didn't they?
Aye.
12 by knockout. Hercules.
I knew I'd get Matty to bite on that Tua comment, by the way.
Good old Matty. Shout out to Tyson Fury. I was in Home Bargains a couple of days ago, and this was on the shelf.
Did you buy it?
I did not. 15 notes, Andy. Eau de toilette spray. Yeah.
I see it now. Aye.
Tyson Fury on the toilet. He said, "Fucking neck, he sell anything."
I've seen that Ferocity drink he's got out, mate, for like 99 cents or whatever it was in the fucking local bin bargain. That was Home Bargain. Sorry, bin bargain.
Bargain bin. The bargain bucket.
Fire.
Imagine some young one like she fucking goes home with a chap like wakes up the next day, asks her to use the bathroom. She goes to fucking and she sees he has that. That's what she's ever going for the night before. The Tyson Fury on the toilet.
Oh,
God,
you're smelling good there, honey. What are you on there? Ferocity, and this is the ferocity you're smelling off me here.
What's your aftershave? It's Tyson Fury's own toilet.
Well, as long as you don't spray any of this on you. The Dillian White aftershave coming out soon. Dillian White cleared to continue career following investigation by himself. An
Well,
investigation.
his comeback fight's going to be against Dill in Texas.
You got to know who this expert is, by the way. This expert is definitely he's paid for. He's not independent.
The same experts that said Iraq had WMD or something.
Yeah, but see, this is the problem you've got here. When you actually have powerful people who actually come to a conclusion before they actually get the facts, so you then get your minions to go and find those facts just to fit your narrative. That's what really fucks you up there. Fuck Tony Blair.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that, Matty?
Don't encourage.
And George W.
He'd be calling in.
This is one of the best times ever because all you can do is just fucking type about it in the chat and we're not going to read it. Brilliant.
A big soliloquy.
Oh, he'll be on next week, by the way. He'll be on fire next week. We'll get after all the politics comments.
Oh, he will. He'll be enjoying it. Yeah, talking of politics, Dominic, I actually forgot to play this one last week, but you reminded me of it before the Podrick McCrory Edgar Berlanga fight came up. We had a bit of a Mick Conlan ring walk-esque comment from Chris Mannix. Let's all listen.
The mantra this week for the camp of Podrick McCrory has been the Irish phrase Chucky Arla, which means our day has come.
And he got it wrong, actually. It actually means our day will come.
Our day will come. That's what Mrs. Wellington was saying. But I thought it was funny all the same.
It's just that wonderful American blissful unawareness of
ignorant bastards, man. That's what they are, man.
Podrick McCrory was a member of the Provisional IRA.
Filing his taxes with the IRA.
I'm waiting for fucking riddled dementia Joe Biden to come out and say,
yeah.
Fucking prick.
They're a great bunch of guys.
yeah. Provisional IRA, great bunch of lads.
Oh, thank you, Dominic, for that one. There's King Rye again, Rob. This might be curtains.
He's at it now, isn't he? Like,
yeah, I'm sad. He says, I don't know. I worry about him, Rob. To be honest, I know it's Bellew of the Week territory, like, but Paul King.
Well, like now I'm starting to fucking. I'm gone, Richard. I need Richard E. Hall at times like this. If only he was available. Do you know what I mean? I need somebody to fucking pull up the timestamps and fucking do the behind the scenes here. Because is he at it or is he not at it? Like, is he really steaming at the press conference or is he fucking pulling a fucking Kaiser Soze? Who knows? Like, I think he's fucking steaming, and I think no matter what, his habits that he have will show up in the ring. But I'm entertained by all this. I have to fucking tell you, this fight, I didn't give a fuck about it until about 2 days ago, and now I'm all in. Like,
King Roy sending cryptic messages about Jill Dando. We'll know something's up then.
He's onto the fucking human mutilations next. For fuck's sake.
Oh, what?
Riddle saw mystery.
He's not a fan of Fred West, is he?
It wasn't.
Handwriting analysis. Oh my gosh.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
There's a Fred West rabbit hole that we will not go down at this time. Catch me after the pod if you want to fucking hear more about it.
I don't want to end up down a Fred West rabbit hole. Thank you very much, Rob.
See, King Ray is able to say. King Ray will be able to say, you know, if about Floyd, he said like, at least I can write Floyd. He'll be able to say something like that.
Can you read?
Exactly.
Handwriting analysis of King Roy. Mate, sorry you're getting nominated. The moment it was revealed to Mate, sitting in the arena waiting for Amanda Serrano to come out, he looks in the Nutters group to find out that the fight off down to something falling in Serrano's eye.
I wonder if he got his refund though. Did you get a refund, Matty? Let us know.
That is fucking amazing.
So
I shouldn't be that happy about it, but I am. I can't help it. I'm overjoyed with this news.
Just to ask the listeners, by the way, of course, if Matty didn't get his refund, can you give us a couple of super chats just to kind of cover Matty's costs here? Because, you know,
yeah, come on, we've got to fly this guy back from Puerto Rico before he starts enjoying himself.
You say after shitter first.
He's got explosive diarrhea. talking of diarrhea, here's a man on the run.
Did
Jared
you hear him, is it?
Anderson, arrested in
fuck.
Michigan after high-speed chase. He was sending out Instagram messages as well to Bob Arum and Top Rank.
He was
Andy,
he
Arum
was-
always gets you in the long grass.
No, he
He was
wasn't
trying to
in
get
the
away from Earl Spence, wasn't he?
No, I thought. Well, there wasn't a sight in a white Bronco there, was there anywhere? No.
I don't
Fucking
think
hell,
so.
man. I bet was there no something about him doing in Florida recently as well?
Yeah, he had a concealed weapon, didn't he, or
Oh,
something?
that what it was, or something, and then he got done for, was it weed or something?
No.
As
He's going on
well.
a bad path.
So I don't know what's happened here, by the way, but it seems to have kind of turned to shit pretty quick. And that's including what's been happening in the ring there recently as well, because, you know, he's been talking about retirement. He's probably 3-4 years away by the time of his age and that. But this is
breaking down, crying, and all talking right. This fella's finished, man. Forget about him. Put him in the Seth Mitchell pile because that's where
This
he's
is
going to fucking end up.
Again,
He's going nowhere.
This is what I said earlier, Steve, about the heavyweight division. I mean, it's shit, man. You take out Fury, Usyk, and probably Joshua at this point, right? What else is there? There's fucking, well, obviously you've got Zhang and that, but Parker's had his day. You've got this guy fucking up. You've got Miller getting packed in. You've got Wilder can't throw right hands anymore, and you've got fucking Lucas Brown's making scrambled egg and bacon and mushrooms and that.
You've got to say the era of the American heavyweight is pretty much over, isn't it? Wilder fucking reignited that flame for a little while. They hadn't had a heavyweight before Wilder in fucking 25 years, and now who's going to be the next one? It's not going to be big baby Jared Anderson. I know that. Fucking hell.
Even the likes of Torres is being moved at a snail's pace.
What happens to that guy? It's like he fights once a year as well. Like for a guy who's a fucking prospect, he's not nowhere near active enough.
Torres getting wasted because he's not active. You said active enough, but Anderson probably another one waiting for that Saudi payday and then he'll retire. But everybody else just waiting for the call.
I hope Trevor Bryan gets the Saudi payday instead of him.
Trevor Bryan, mate. Do we even know if he's walking after his last fight? I forgot all about him actually. Who did he fight?
I want to see Tony Thompson come back, by the way. Really
his wife is not walking.
Can you imagine the amount of wheelchairs he would manage to buy, man, if he fucking got that Saudi money?
Fuck's sake.
That'd be amazing, man.
Oh, dear.
You could even buy a new hip whenever she needed it. Put her on traction as well when she needed stretched out.
This was a bad one. Obviously, everybody saw the footage. I don't know what the hell was going on in Roscommon, but I know it wasn't nice. Carl Frampton was tweeting out disgusting scenes at the All Ireland under-14s last night. Keep that madness away from the kids. But then Alonso jumps in and says "Gad" again halfway through. That was a pretty
anybody's not seen the footage.
That was.
I think we've got a couple of American listeners on that as well. There was a junior amateur show. And some arseholes have come into the gym with fucking machetes and started just basically having a ramming in the place. We're like, what age were the kids? 11-year-old, if that, maybe younger than that, possibly. Yeah. Kids, basically, man, and they're having to watch this shit.
So there's nothing to do with the Gad. What else? That we know of. We've got a few people nominating this, apparently. Charlie Parsons, I'm delighted to launch my own sports network powered by Wow Hydrate, the stomping ground, predominantly launching in boxing. The channel looks to feature talent from the world of football and other sports. Content will also be available on the DAZN app at DAZN Boxing. There you go.
Imagine leaving your job, go to work for Wow Hydrate, start on a new platform, go straight on DAZN. One of the very first interviews that you get is the world heavyweight champion. I wonder who's got a hand in that, by the way.
He's a great young lad anyway. He's a great lad. He's a lovely chap. I say nothing bad about him anyway. He's fucking doing good. Sounds like he's doing well. Hope we wish him well.
Doesn't need a hand up or a leg air, by the way, for the sounds it. Just got access overnight like that.
I love to see these new channels to think that that's another thing that I'm not going to look at, so that's good anyway.
Talking of access, we know that Pro Box has hooked up now with Boxing Scene. And if you wondered what you were going to be receiving, Rob, here's a piece from Eric Raskin. We all want Canelo Benavidez, but Canelo owes us nothing. So Puff PR pieces basically is the type of spot.
I'll tell you what, though,
ad after that.
I've seen a change in the articles, and how they're
shite,
written.
PR shite.
Going
through there, telling you.
There's definite corporate fucking wording. The way it was written, it's completely different. Jake Donovan's going to be a big miss for that place.
It's interesting because they've got Kieran Mulvaney now writing for them, who is very good. But I must actually keep an eye out if you're saying that there's been you've noticed the change in the tone of their writing this past few weeks. I'll keep an eye out for that. But I was sort of happy to see Mulvaney. He wrote the fight report for what fight was it, Steve, last week? The
Alanga, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right. It was a very good write up of the fight itself. But so who's bought them now? Is it
the people behind ProBox
Right.
who run the ProBox channel, which is a promoter? It's all very weird, isn't it?
ProBox is a promoter, are they?
So
Well,
you've got Eric Raskin and Kieran Mulvaney who write for him. So there's two ex-HBO guys, both writers. I think Mulvaney's an author as well, possibly.
Yeah.
There was somebody else. Who the hell was it?
Pugmire, is he gone there, or was he always there?
Didn't see his name there.
He's LA Times, isn't he?
He wrote a thing the other day on there, I think.
But basically, it's guys who were like in the Ring magazine or running about the HBO periphery and that back in the day. They've all seemed to be kind of moving across the boxing scene. So there's definitely
It's sponsorship, paid ads, PR crap. I'm available if they want to give me a shout.
The ProBox, so that are they in the business of actually putting on? I think they do. That's what the Matty wants. Isn't it?
It's Matty's favourite ProBox who run it in the rehabilitation centre.
It's the prospects coming up, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's prospects or sort of ex-champions and all. They do put on good fights, to be fair. That's the entity that's bought Boxing Scene, as far as I know, off CBS, I think.
Maddie's going to be in the rehabilitation centre someday for the gambling, isn't he?
You can just wander into ringside and watch a fight afterwards while you're all doped up. Betty Ford Clinic.
Fucking 80s reference there. Well, he's fucking got me up. Fuck's sake.
Oh,
Ronnie.
I didn't manage to click on Ronnie, but we might as well nominate him for Bellew of the Week as well. Go on, Ron. We'll get you in there. What else have we got here? Calix says, how is Rick Glazer better at breaking stories than dudes who are paid to break huge stories? A conversation needs to be had about how incredibly terrible the boxing media is currently. And Marcos Villejas says, it's because he knows executives at other boxing companies that tell him shit. Those execs won't tell media anything. And Rick Glazer says, Marcos, thank you for recognising you're spot on. In a typical business day, I talk to 30 to 40 boxing executives and boxing attorneys around the globe. Most reporters don't have that type of access or worldwide reach.
Bollocks.
Best regards, Marcus.
Bollocks is he doing
Thank
fucking
you.
30 to 40 calls a day with a fucking boxing day? Will you fuck off? 30 to 40 a day. And what time of the day does he start? At what time of the day does he finish? And are these boxing as execs all
How's
available
there
on the
30 to
fly
40
on that
boxing
day?
executives in the world?
Every day,
Niche
let alone.
sport, man.
Let
I would
alone
love
fucking-
for someone to do a Jeremy Beadle on him, by the way. Rick Glazer, this is your
What,
life,
just come up
by the
with a
way.
little hand
It's
on
a list of bollocks, you know what I'm saying?
He'll be in hell if this is true that Canelo Bungie is going to end up on PBC on Prime. He'll be in hell.
I talk to 30 to 40 boxing executives and boxing attorneys around the globe every day. That's how many is that a week?
So what you got your
200 a week. He's talking to 200 boxing execs a
210
week.
a week.
On
Yeah,
a
nobody
standard
seems to-
fucking Monday to Friday. Fuck off, Rick Glazer.
But you never hear these executives talking about Rick Glazer, though. Oh, Rick Glazer's a great man in boxing knowledge. He's a great boxing mind. He makes the big fights. His job is so big. He's so important that we can't do it without him. Nobody
I kind of
mentions
wish
him.
I had one of these wishy-washy fucking money laundering boxing jobs. I really wish. If there's anyone out there listening, that's a great bunch of lads that wants to fucking launder
Only
the
thing
mic
is-
for me. Just give me a
Great bunch
shout.
of pro
Can I just read
boxers.
this back, Steve? I've just noticed something here.
I
most
talked to
reporters-
200 fake boxing execs a
No,
week for that bread.
wait,
Damn
wait,
it.
Most
this-
reporters don't have that type of
He didn't put
excess.
this. He didn't put it through spell check. Most reporters don't have the type of excess of world reach.
Well, Dan Raphael has a lot of excess.
And worldwide reach.
So there's that grey fleece.
Shout out to the fleece. Beige fleece, Andy.
Beige
well,
fleece,
maybe it was
sorry.
grey when it started.
It was beige now. All these sweaty moments where he probably sleeps with that thing on it. He just oozed through.
In a bush shelter.
It's like fucking Charlie Brown's blanket. Like he's never without the fucking thing. Like stink lines fucking showing up on it when he's on fucking Ellie's sick back. Remember the time he broke the chair?
He sits on two chairs. Whenever I was ringside at the Boston fight, he has to sit on two chairs. What he did then, I don't know if he does now.
Look, fucking God bless him.
Right. Final
He's
one.
one sup away from the fucking, you know what I mean?
Once. Oh dear. This one's from Saint and Greavesy. Me and Andy got tagged in this week. This is
Saint and Greavesy.
Now, Jim,
Jesus.
one of the most bizarre sporting moments of the week had to do with a boxing match. You have some details for us.
It was wonderful. This was Steve McCarthy versus Tony Wilson, and as you can see, Wilson's getting the worst of it, and the fight's about to be stopped when in comes Ma Wilson. Good old Ma Wilson with her stiletto heel, and she was clunched old McCarthy, and that was the end of it. And he went off. Look, you can see it going in. This woman could be the woman to take on Mike Tyson, because the only fight he ever lost was against his mother-in-law, and he goes out of the ring.
I remember this, man.
See, Greavesy, man. Greavesy was a low-key savage, man. He was
He was giving it to him, wasn't he?
Oh,
See
what?
that
I love
fucking only fight he ever lost was to his mother-in-law, Robin Gibbons, man. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck's sake.
Greavesy was low-key savage, man. I can remember when Dundee United played Manchester United in Europe one year, mid-80s possibly, and before the game, Greavesy was getting it big talk. Man United was going to fucking smash them up and that. Anyway, big Hamish McAlpine. Where's a fucking Scottish name for you? Hamish McAlpine, goalkeeper at Dundee United. He saved a penalty that day. I think they might have drew possibly, or might have got beat 2-1. I can't mind, but it was a low-scoring game, and they didn't get embarrassed anyway. And the big Hamish McAlpine, he's getting interviewed after the game, and he goes like that. Aye. You could ask you ask me Greavesy now what he thinks about that result. He'll shut his mouth now anyway. So Greavesy just goes back to the studio and that just laughs it off. Fucking, it was class, man. They were great times for fucking. That was my era, man.
Greavesy was for mine too. That was fucking unbelievable.
Saturday
I remember watching
brilliant.
that shit on a fucking Saturday morning. You have to fucking me up because you have to put me back in a time warp. You know, when you get a bit of nostalgia, you have to fucking send me back to the fucking. I used to sit there and watch. I used to tape fucking Saint and Greavesy just to watch it back because we didn't have the internet. You have to understand, there was different times. Like
life was more kind of like, you know, stone and pencil them days. You know what I'm saying?
Here, you're getting a bit advanced there with your fucking fax machine. We're talking fucking them phones that you fucking like clocks. So you dial the fucking shit up.
We're talking chalk and tablet here, Steve.
Oh, I'm the same age. Don't worry, I remember. That incident, I remember it at the time, but I'll just read it out quickly. So it was Tony Wilson against Steve McCarthy. So McCarthy knocked Wilson down in the third round. He was looking to finish the fight with Wilson on the ropes. The fight was stopped when Wilson's 62-year-old mother climbed into the ring and started attacking McCarthy with her shoe. McCarthy's cornerman also entered the ring. McCarthy thought he'd won, but the referee then gave the win to Wilson. McCarthy refused to continue because he had 4 stitches in his head due to the stiletto. Wilson was declared the winner by technical knockout. A riot ensued and Wilson's mother had to be dragged from the ring by her hair by a security guard. McCarthy returned to the ring, but only to calm the crowd. And Andy, as I said to Vanderpool on Twitter, I do have a sort of low-key story about this fight. About 20 years ago, me and my friend Big John were in Wolverhampton Town, and I was actually
Big John Fury,
not Big John Fury. We were in the
Big John Fisher.
Well, yeah, might as well have been. Big John was a big guy. We were in the kebab house, and I was actually at 2:00 in the morning. I was telling John this story about the woman jumping in with a stiletto, and a gentleman standing across the kebab house jumps in and says, "Whoa, that was my brother who was boxing that night, and the woman who jumped in the ring was my mom." And I thought to myself, "All right, whatever." But there is a bit of credence to the story. Tony Wilson was in fact from Wolverhampton. So the chances are maybe, Andy, that this guy was indeed telling the truth. Like, so there you go.
There you go. Yeah. I'm trying to admit, I can remember seeing it, but it must have been on Saint and Greavesy because that was a Saturday. Saint and Greavesy was usually late morning.
Saturday morning. It was after the you kind of got like the chart
anyway,
show. You got the chart show in the morning, didn't you? Then you might have got a bit of a magazine show, and then Saint and Greavesy for the football, over the BBC One for the fucking live results.
And you always got the highlights of the games in midweek and that, especially the European games and the British sides that were involved. But I'm sure I must have seen it on that because obviously it must have been on TV, that fight, because if you notice the wee kind of black and white thing in the corner, Steve,
yeah,
that used to come up on STV.
ITV, ITV and STV used to show a lot of fights back in those days, especially domestic ones.
And all that.
See that black and white tab that comes up at the top right hand corner of the screen? That used to be the indicator that was getting ready to go to commercial break.
Yes. That's
David
right.
Icke used to be on Grandstand. What a guy.
Yeah. There's Lynham. He was Irish, by the way, wasn't he? He's still alive, isn't he?
Lynham was, yeah.
Days line, am I?
Yeah.
Thought he was only pretending like that, Jerry Adams.
Yeah, well.
This week for the camp of Padre McCrory has been the Irish phrase "Chucky Arla," which means our day has come.
That's a candidate, Steve, for the intro.
We're going to get
Well.
those. We're going to get those 33 counties back.
On the zone. Let's hope the zone are here to see it.
Oh, amazing.
I mean, can you imagine it? I mean, the South Curry handle, the South Curry handle what's happened with the immigrants just now. Like, you must try to take back the North.
What are you talking about? Come and take us back. Nobody. I tell you what, right? If the Brits came and invaded in the morning, nobody come out and fight them. They'd be all too busy fucking smoking weed, playing PlayStation.
Smoke space.
Yeah, exactly. I had a nomination actually.
Yes, go ahead, Rob.
Fucking what's the guy's name? Is it Lionel Thompson?
Lonnie B.
Oh yes, he's good value. Him.
He's a what is he? A 68 pounder.
Yep.
Aye.
And he talked about his experience as a sparring partner for Beterbiev.
Oh, the soul got in my body.
Yeah. He said about his dad. He asked his dad, like, I'm going to spar Beterbiev, and he said all the fighters that he fought over the years, like his dad was like you can do it, like, and his dad was like, you don't want that. And he was like,
we don't
what?
need that.
Yeah, he's like, no, we don't need that. And he's like, what? So he went to the gym and he was like, no, fuck that. I'm gonna go. I spar France, I spar these high level guys. Like, I fucking go to the gym, whatever, spar Beterbiev. Like, so he goes to the gym and someone else was like, yeah, I don't know, this is going to be a short day. Like, just do what you can. And he was like, do what I can. So he said when he got hit with the first right hand that he felt like he left Earth, like his soul left his body.
He's a good storyteller, isn't he?
Oh, but it was fucking
Mark,
brilliant.
what do you want me to do? He goes, just do your best, son.
Yeah, just do my best. What the fuck does that mean? He said when
Survive, basically.
He said when he got hit with the first right hand, he felt like his soul was leaving his body. Like, but I can imagine, because you see that on fighters when Beterbiev hits him, like, it's a different kind of fucking reaction. Like, isn't this reminds you of the Curtis Stevens, Golovkin stuff? Like, but that was amazing the way he told that. Like, I only saw it for the first time this week, but I was cracking up laughing.
I can envisage that moment in what do you call it, in Snatch with Brad Pitt. When
the Golden Brown starts playing.
It's when he knocks out the guy in the boxing ring and he cuts to Jason Statham and everything just goes quiet and it goes, now we're fucked. It's like when he takes that shot, it's like, now I'm fucked, by the way. Because that's what it is. The cunt has brick walls, man, for his jab. What the
I seen that a few weeks ago, Rob. Someone put it in the Nutters chat. He tells the story well.
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, no. And like, but listening to like Iceman Scully and all talking about Beterbiev as well, like, he just keeps saying like he's different. Like, and I remember Scully was early on Kovalev, like, back in the days, he was calling him to be like the main guy to come through, like, and dominate, like, and he's obviously working with Beterbiev, but some of the stuff he says about fucking sparring partners, like, the sparring partners are all petrified, like, they're like, imagine that, like, fuck's sake, he's a scary bastard.
Remember, who was it? I remember somebody told a story about Golovkin sparring up at Big Bear and that, and they're having to put on fucking body protection because he's fucking snapping ribs and that with fucking left hooks to the body. Like, fucking going about me.
Do you know what? Sidebar, Golovkin doesn't get enough credit, by the way.
Eh?
Sidebar, I know we're on Bellew the week, but Golovkin doesn't get enough credit for how good he was, I don't think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and his prime past his
George Groves.
Past him
That's who it was. George Groves got his rib broken. Aye.
George Groves got his rib broken, but there was a great story actually. I remember, I can't remember who told it, but Alfredo Angulo was up sparring in Big Bear, and this was back in like 2012, 2011 when no one really knew who in America. You know, he had only moved over to Big Bear about 18 months. And Angulo came into the gym and he tried to really put it on Golovkin. And he got an absolute, he got a serious beating. Like, he got about half an hour later he was crawling out of the ring. You know, he is I can't remember. He is not being. I can't remember who said it.
Just the interesting one about Golovkin with the Mexican style. They all say it's to do with the fighters, but I remember one of his early Ellie Sekback interviews, and he was talking about Mexican style, and he said that some of his Mexican friends brought him to a Christmas party, and he was dancing with the Mexican girls, and he was going the Mexican style. And I knew what the fuck he meant. There was nothing to do with the fucking fighting.
Just with the chicas.
Vida loca.
Scully, I think the interesting thing about Scully, he apparently looks after the sparring partners. He picks them up from the airport for Butterby, if this is. He sort of
He works with Mark Ramsey, mate. He works with Mark
That's
Ramsey.
right. That's right.
Aye.
Picks him up from the airport, just plays the theme tune from Jaws all the way to the gym.
Gonna need a bigger boat, mate.
Gonna need a bigger head guard. Apparently, that lad from Manchester, Callum Simpson. Apparently, he's one of the only ones that managed to survive the whole hog of sparring Butterby. So much so that they invited him back after his first time. So like he apparently survived the experience, but yeah, there's been some odd stories about him. All right.
Imagine there's a story about one guy who survived the sparring. I fucking tell you what it's like sparring Butterby. Jesus Christ.
I'll never forget two things as long as I live with Butterby. One was sparring the shotgun jabs at the fucking at the wall, and two is I'm fucking spinning that bar, that weightlifting bar, with one hand in a circular motion. I snap my wrist if I tried that shit, man. These things must weigh about 50 pounds easy. Maybe even slightly like 50 pounds, sorry, probably 50 pounds, 50 kilos possible. I don't know how much they weigh, but fucking this guy was spinning it like a fucking toothpick, man.
I sent you one, Dominic, didn't I, earlier, whenever he was doing hitting the punch bag, and somebody put a message in the chat or something saying the rest of the gym reporting an active shooter in the building.
Yeah, it's scary. Like I sparred a couple of big punches, like, and luckily I was able to like ride shots and not get caught clean with a lot of times. But a pro golfer hit me harder than anybody. He wasn't a boxer or whatever. He was messing about. He's having a spar. Hit me with a fucking shot. I felt he hit me so hard, it hit me in the chin, and I felt like an electric shot went out the fucking sole of my foot. Fucking absolute. No, I didn't go down, like, but he planted me with a shot. It was fucking, and I was like, if this fella ever decides to put on gloves, he's going to fucking kill everyone because he's a fucking monster.
Just for sharing stories, I'll tell you, my man, I remember getting hit by a left hook once. It was so hard, it wrung my ears. I actually even heard everybody at ringside who was actually watching the sparring session, because it was a round robin spar, right? And all I heard was going, "Oh," because it was a heavy shot, right? And I started tapping my jaw. I was like, "Fucking hell, that was serious, fuck!" And see, I took my mouth. I couldn't get my mouthpiece out, but see, I took my mouthpiece out. I tried to then like clasp my mouth again. I couldn't fucking do it. I thought I broke my jaw, man. Obviously, I was stretching ligaments in my jaw for about 3 or 4 days, just trying to loosen it off. I thought I had a broken jaw, man. Fucking hell, forget it.
Hardest I've ever been hit is by a stiletto.
Wasn't in a fight, that one.
She told you
it was a fight of sorts.
It's a funny story, actually. It's a funny story. I'll save it for after. But what was I going to say there? It was I think it was about Butterby. Something that's what was Andy talking about there about Butterby? Oh, I can't remember, Steve.
Come back to it if you recall it. Andy, any nominations?
Me, Dominic. He's doing fucking tails after the pod and he can't remember.
Just one for Ryan Garcia, mate, and one for our man, the debutant there in Poland last night for dropping.
Oh my god!
Dropping the body slam, but then dropping the elbow, and then obviously the bucket of ice coming in as well to try and knock him out. But yeah, I thought that was good banter as well.
That was a good one. Dominic, any nominations?
Just forgot what sport he was playing. Like
that was a good one.
He took it down the cobbles, mate. He took it to the hard road.
No nominations for me, Steve, this week.
Nothing from Dominic. Nothing from Oz. Anything from you, Rob?
No, just my man Lionel, and obviously Garcia for his antics. Like, and Oscar and Bernard as well. I'm fucking fed up. Bernard Hopkins is one of my favorite fighters. Oscar's up there as well. But I am fucking fed up with these two as Golden Boy. Like, how are they the fucking promotional face of any company in 2024? Fuck me, like.
They're more or less figureheads, though, isn't it? Eric Gomez is the guy that really runs the show there.
Yeah.
Although, as you said to me a few months ago, Steve, they've made the sort of ill-conceived decision to get rid of Robert Diaz, which can't be good for them. But
they seem to have rode it out, though, because the recent shows, to be fair, still have the same kind of quality. But in the long run, I wonder if that'll be a decision they'll rue.
Yeah. The thing I was going to say, actually, it was a few minutes ago, Rob was saying about being hit by that golfer. And, what is it you said, Rob? You felt like electric shock down through your feet. But it reminded me of it reminded me of what Kevin Kelly, you know, it was an interview with Nas, like one of these retrospectives on his career. It's about 10 years ago, and he was reminiscing about the Kevin Kelly fight, and he was whoever Nas fought before the Kevin Kelly fight. Kevin Kelly was over in England watching it, and they got him on the apron after the fight, and he was sitting beside Nas on the apron.
And smoke his boots.
I got to smoke his boots, and Nas, you know the way Nas tells the story, and he was all, I didn't know what Kevin meant. I didn't know what it meant. And then he said, when Kevin Kelly decked him in that first round, he said, then I knew what he meant. I'm going to smoke your boots.
I just seen one there for John Fury, actually, for sucking up to AJ.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Hamid was talking about that earlier.
There's some meeting between Big John was embracing AJ like he was a son.
Good old John.
Son from another mother, eh?
Right, so let's go through them quickly then before we close out. We had Saint and Greavesy and the stiletto incident. We had Oscar and the bra, the titty committee. We also had Andy Mitchell. No flies on Mitchell. The lights going out. Unfortunately, the sound didn't go out on Tim and Tess. We had David Turo, Hall of Famer. We had the smell of Tyson Fury. We had the stench of corruption from Dill. We had Ryan, who knows what's going on there. Matty getting the news about Puerto Rico. Got Jared Anderson going on the run. The incident and the comment from Alonso. We had Charlie Parsons. We had the puff piece over at Boxing Scene. Ronnie, shout out with his t-shirt. Fight Hub going in with Rick Glazer. Save the date as well. And Kinosuke the Fighter. That's a great throwback name, isn't it, Andy? From they were fighting over the weekend in Japan. 6'1" southpaw Kinosuke the Fighter at welterweight. I'm not sure if
who's a ninja, apparently.
A fucking sniper's dream, anyway, by the sounds of it.
Right. Who are you going for, Andy?
I'm going to go for Garcia, mate. Ryan Garcia.
Multiple offences?
Multiple offences, mate, but obviously he's playing up to it a wee bit, but some of it's self-inflicted at the same time as well. Plus, his old man's getting... There's no allegations of racism for... What was it? Well, I'm not going to mention it in case it is classed as racist by a certain...
Oh, Henry was going on about the hair, his hair or something.
I'll not get into that then, just in case it does offend anybody, but fucking... Yeah, it's just... You kind of saying to yourself, yeah, listen, mate, he better back up that shit now. But that's all I can say now. After all of this stuff and that, he's got to be backed up big time. So I'll go for Ryan Garcia.
King Rye, Super Rye, as he's known as now. Dominic, who are you going for?
I was tempted to go for Matty for going all the way to Puerto Rico to see Amanda. I know he didn't go all the way to Puerto Rico just to see Amanda Serrano, but no, I'll go for King Rye as well.
He fucking did.
2 for Rye. Rob, who are you going for?
It's got to be Garcia, but I will notice he gave one hilarious clapback throughout the fucking press conference because Bill Haney was going on a rant and he said, "Shut up, Bill, you sound like Don King right now."
Well, the hair's almost looking like it.
Oh, good stuff. Right, congratulations, Ryan Garcia. You are the Bellew of the Week winner for episode 562.